How's it going, everybody? I am AV Obsessed, and if you're watching this video on my channel, that means that you probably are too. And today I am here at the show, the Total Hi-Fi Experience, and I am with the VP of Legacy Audio here, and he's actually going to just talk about what's going on in their rooms today.
Awesome. Hi Clayton, hello everyone. My name's James here at Legacy. I'm going to walk you through our show setup today, starting with our signature speakers. They start in a passive form as the Signature SE, right under $10,000 for the pair. We also offer them as the Signature XD, which is going to have internal amplification, either for the entire speaker, or you can flip a switch on the back and the internal amp will power the subs and your stereo amp can power the upper section. In a moment we're going to show you their bigger brothers, the Focus, but right next to them, these are our Aris XD speakers. They come with 1,500 watts of internal amplification powering the subwoofers. So the upper section is very, very efficient and easy for you to drive with any stereo amp. It's also open baffle, so as the camera moves around to the side of the speaker, you'll actually see that this entire upper section is open, so you get a very airy and natural sound. Something new that we're offering for our Aris line, we're offering them as the Aris XP. And what that allows the user to do is if they have a stereo amplifier that they like, or even an integrated amplifier, they can run speaker cables right to the back of the Aris, and we actually derive the signal and power the internal 1,500 watts from that cable. So if you'd like to not have to run an additional XLR cable, you can now do that and utilize any amplifier or even an integrated amplifier with the Aris speaker system. And we're also running the Legacy Wavelet 2, which you see in the rack here. It's available as an option for the Aris and also any speaker in the Legacy line. Comes with its own microphone. It automatically tunes itself to the user's room and gives you full control over the speaker so you can adjust anything that you need to adjust.
Awesome. So that's basically room correction and a preamp built into one box.
That's correct. Room correction, it's doing the crossover for us, and it's allowing the user to utilize either an Android or an Apple device, and you can adjust every driver on that speaker.
Cool. All right, now we're in the Legacy Audio room with the bigger stuff, and we're gonna let him talk about what they're showing in here.
All right, thanks Clayton. So this is the Legacy Audio Focus SE speakers. They are completely passive. They are a little bit bigger than the Signatures that you just saw, whereas the Signatures have dual 10-inch subs, the Focus are going to have dual 12-inch subs. A Signature is going to have one of our 7-inch mid-range drivers, and the Focus is going to have 2 of them. We recently upgraded the mids in the Legacy line, so you'll notice the copper phase plug that you see here. This is actually a graphene impregnated mid-range, and it's our latest upgrade in the Legacy line. And then of course we have our dual Legacy air motion transformer that you see here. And so these start in the passive Focus SE. They're $13,200 for the pair. They're also available as the active Focus XD for an additional $2,000. And then moving up from there, we have our flagship. These are the Legacy Audio Valor speaker systems. They come with 2,750 watts of built-in amplification. There is an active 12-inch sub that you see on the front. There's also a down-firing active driver as well, 2 passive radiators at the rear of the speaker, and then this entire section is actually open baffle. So you have dual 14s here, as well as the 14 coaxial, and that's actually firing in between 2 4-inch AMTs. So you have a lot of piston area here. There's a lot of information coming off of this speaker. Wow. Exactly. And another advantage of having these splayed like that is that as you move laterally around the room, so if you have a room that maybe opens to one side to, say, a kitchen, and you need to cover more area, this increases the sweet spot because as you move left and right, one of the tweeters is turning itself down acoustically while the other one is turning itself up. Again, this comes with the Legacy Audio Wavelet 2 that you see over here in the rack. And what that's allowing us to do is, again, tune that speaker for the room. So you have full control over it, and you can adjust it automatically, and then you can very easily raise the levels of the tweeters, raise the levels of the subs, whatever you need to do. In both of our rooms, we're utilizing a streamer that's just connected digitally into the Wavelet 2. For our vinyl fans, you can also connect any analog device into the Wavelet 2. And then we're also using our legacy IV2 amplifiers, which you see down here. Today, those are powering the upper sections of our Valor speakers. Of course, the user can utilize any amplifier they like because the sensitivity that your amp will see on this upper section is above 100 dB.
Oh, wow.
So small SET amps are welcome.
Jeez.
And of course solid state and Class D.
Giant speakers with little SET
That's
tube
right.
amp.
That's right.
That's crazy.
That's right. Anything
Awesome.
you'd like to pair with it.
Yep. So the price that you were given on these, on the because the Focus SE, like that's the one that I heard at the 2019 Exponent show, like the first hi-fi show that I went to, and kind of like that's kind of my dream speaker. It's dream speaker within the attainable range for me, at least right now. The price that you were talking about on that, is that for exotic finish?
So those are for standard finishes.
Oh, okay.
They're $13,200 for the pair of
Gotcha.
passive speakers. Premium adds right around $1,200 or so to the price, and then exotic moves up from there. And if you do want these in the active design, what's nice about that in the Focus XD, for $2,000 more, you get the internal amps, and there's a switch at the rear. So in one position, the switch makes it so that the internal amp powers the entire speaker. You flip the switch, then the internal amp only powers the subs, so you can use your stereo amp on the top section. And you flip the switch again, and it actually defeats the internal crossover. And the big advantage of that is then you're actively bi-amping the speaker.
Right, and
so
that's where the Wavelet's built-in crossover comes in.
That's right. You can
Right.
utilize a wavelet, you could utilize your own crossover. And the nice thing about that is we're placing the crossover before the
Right.
amplifier.
Yep.
So your stereo amplifier won't be receiving any of the bass and sub signal, so automatically your amp will operate in a lower distortion state, which is great for the sound.
And then I don't think we heard the price on the Valors.
So our flagship Valor are $92,000 for the pair.
Nice.
That can be done in any finish that you like. We also have the option to make these fully active, so some of our users like the idea of kind of cleaning up floor space, so we can make them in any permutation that you need, either for your stereo amplifier or completely active.
Awesome. Well, that is the Legacy Audio Room at the show. Thanks for watching, you guys.